Hey everybody, Mark Burgess here, Big East Bass Fishing. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing great, and I really appreciate you checking out another video. Okay, so this video, final recap of this year's Bassmaster Classic. Okay, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, from my perspective. Okay, so the good, I'd have to say, was how the anglers performed under the conditions they were faced with. Congratulations to Easton Fothergill for winning and figuring out the main pattern, which was bass coming in, migrating in from deeper water to spawn, were hanging up on those outside cedar trees, which a lot of guys did figure out. However, Easton figured out that those fish were further up in the water column, higher in the water column, holding in the tops of the trees. When he figured that out, if you watch the tournament, he went to a lighter weight on a Nico rig worm, June bug, I believe, Strike King June bug worm, and that enabled that worm to stay in the strike zone longer. Okay, that I think is the good. Okay, and if you beat Lee Livesey, Ben Milliken, Chris Zaldane, just to name those three, were probably the favorites going into this event, which they were on my fantasy team. You did something, and it was just amazing to see. This kid has an amazing future in the sport. I encourage you to check out his story, what he overcame just prior to the college championship, winning that, making it to the Opens, winning 2 of the Opens in the EQ series, I might add. Okay? Extremely difficult to do. Hardest schedule that there is in professional fishing right now is to fish the Opens and try to make the elites through that. Everyone is fishing that. So that's the good. That's the good story. Okay, that the anglers were challenged and they rose to that challenge. Okay, you know, the bad, I mean, you could easily say, you know, the exact same thing, the conditions. I mean, in official practice was basically cut short, even though they were allowed to practice. I had to launch at some different ramps. They were basically blown off the lake 2 out of the 4 days. Okay, so that did a lot, really, to affect the outcome of this tournament, where guys, you know, you would think it would play to the home lake anglers' advantage, you know, like the Zaldanes, like Milliken, and it did to a point, but it leveled the playing field for everybody else and put everybody in tight quarters. Okay, they're fishing all around each other. And that affected Lee Livesey, as you saw in the tournament, as well as Zaldane and Milliken. You know, so that was the bad. Really, if you had to look at the big picture and take all the factors into consideration, that was probably the bad. Okay, it was kind of borderline dangerous. Okay, the lake got big. Okay, the ugly. I have to say this, and you know, as you know, I'm a big fan of Bass and Bassmaster and everything that they do. They had some production challenges, some production issues, both during the whole entire thing, really. That made it, for a fan, as you know, as much as I'm a competitor, I'm also a fan, like a lot of you. It made it difficult for me to watch at times. Where, you know, they would, you know, talk over each other and have big lengths of time where there was dead air. I know commercials pay the bills. I get it, I do. But it was a little over the top, okay, as far as the amount of commercial time that was played during the whole entire thing online. I enjoy the commentary, okay, but we all want to see the guys fish, okay? That's what we want to see them fishing. We want to see them struggling. We want to see them catching fish. We want to see that whole process. people will say what they will about forward-facing sonar. I don't have a problem with it. Yes, did they use it in this event? Absolutely. But there was a lot of gut instinct and old school fishing going on. Okay, John Cox, of course, you know, to name one guy who was obviously fishing old school. You know, Greg Hackney, another one. You know, and a bunch of the guys just fishing their gut. You know, even Lee Livesey doing that for a bit. You know, I'm going to quote Trey McKinney. He was fishing. He was really forward-facing sonar the whole time. He was shining or scoping a shallow rock pile that you couldn't see from our vantage point, but he could tell it was there, and he was just standing there holding his rod, a lot like you're doing waiting for schooling fish, okay, if you're on Hartwell or something, and not making a cast. And he made and I quote, he made this comment, I quote, "I can't catch him. I gotta see him before I can catch him." Okay, that's what he said. I gotta see him before I can catch him. I know that rubbed a few people the wrong way, okay, but listen, it's technology, it's here. You have to choose whether or not you are going to embrace it and use it and compete against it, or if you like or don't like watching it. I happen to like when they show the screen and you can see the bait and you can see the fish reacting to the bait. I have the technology. I haven't used it a lot, okay? I'm gonna look more and more into it just to have the option, but I'm gonna continue fishing the way I like to fish, okay? And that's all I can say about that. So the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, the production issues, and then during the actual weigh-ins, when they were cutting to, no matter what they were doing, there was this period of time where there was absolute dead air. No background noise, no crowd noise, no arena noise, no commentating, nothing. They were just showing a screen with like a sponsor logo or the Bassmaster logo. And that was painful, okay? I know they're gonna clean that up for the show. They produce the show that'll air sometime in the future, but going forward, I mean, who tapes the Super Bowl, right? Who tapes the Super Bowl and watches it later? I don't know anyone who does that, okay? You watch it live. You watch it when it's happening, and I think that's what Bass is gonna have to do for the Classic, is that's gonna have to be the coverage, okay? And you own it, you're live, okay? So make it the best it could possibly be at that time, and I think you're gonna get a lot more people watching it. I heard some negativity about the crowd size. Okay, so I've been to 3 classics at working the expo for sponsors, and I got a chance obviously to see the weigh-ins. Friday's always light no matter where you're at. Saturday, a little bit better. Sunday's always the day. Okay, yeah, I know the camera showed a lot of empty seats on the Friday and Saturday. Sunday, the place was packed, standing room only. Okay, so that's pretty normal. So that's my take on it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, minus the production issues that Bass had, which I know they'll get probably plenty of feedback and clean that up. So again, appreciate everybody checking out the channel and watching the videos and subscribing. Please do me a solid and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we're fishing, we're on the water, so I'm just getting ready to make a pre-practice trip down south, so I'll bring you that as well. So everybody have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.